Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the pre-patch of our next expansion. So, it turns out the planet has got PTSD, and in Azeroth's half-awake dreaming, she is essentially having her version of Vietnam flashbacks, and those will actually serve as our pre-patch event. We also basically know when this stuff is going to be happening, and as a result, we kind of know when the expansion is going to come out. There's also some nice goodies. I mean, if you want to get an heirloom ring that can fill your second slot, if say the Stranglethorn Vale fishing tournament or Dark Moon PvP aren't your thing, well, you'll be able to get that. Now, here's the deal. I know this is a bit of a strange video, but basically Blizzard had this pre-patch event briefly active on the press alpha. They then pulled it when the actual alpha went live for everybody else, but luckily, just before the thing went offline, we got to do a little bit of testing, and in the meantime, a whole bunch of data mining has happened, and that data mining has unsurfaced everything else, with the exception of one thing, and that thing is today's sponsor. If you go to Bellular.games, that's where you can actually join up as a member, and over there you will get early access to videos. You'll get ad-free access to videos. We've got things up there like Matt's deep dive into loading times and how to optimize your add-ons so that basically WoW loads way faster. He's even got a really cool console command that just slashed his loading time. So he's got that video up there for early access. Also our lore walking podcast on Xalatath and a bunch of other things. And of course it is also the best way to support what we do. Let's be real, advertising is rubbish on YouTube. That stuff is really annoying, yet I want to make our videos bigger and better all the time, so the more support just sort of means we can do that. As an example, this microphone that I've just put my hand on, not particularly great. We've got a big new expensive one arriving that should make our videos sound a lot more crispy, and that's just the sort of thing that, well, that's what it goes into. But okay, Bellular.games, a big thank you to all of our members there. Let's get into the video. So, Azeroth is having a pretty bad episode, and her memories, or as Khadgar points out, perhaps even our own memories, are bubbling up to the surface. Every half hour, this congealed memories NPC will spawn in an area around the world in one of a set of locations. And essentially, it's a big punching bag, so everybody digs in, frees the memories, and that results in remembered versions of mobs from the zone just coming out and wreaking havoc. Once the big blob dies, the event properly starts and radiant memories begin to spawn across the zone. Essentially, Azeroth begins to relive some of the darkest days in her history while we just kill some stuff for XP and loot. Now, these radiant memories are fairly simple. They relive the past. If you've been playing since the early days of World of Warcraft, it may even be quite the trip down memory lane. Luckily, the one we got to test was in Northrend, and it included old quests, things like burning corpses to keep them from being raised up, doing the Amphitheater of Anguish, but this time in the Bronze Dragon Shrine, and killing Thorim. You know, Thorim, who's a pretty big fella, unfortunately too big for us. We could not solo him, so we didn't get to see how one of these ended, but fortunately there have been achievements that have been data mined, and that basically gives us a list of everything related to this event. There are currently at least 8 variants. On the alpha we saw 3 locations. Northrend, where we tackle a lot of things, like the Lich King, there's Duskwallow Marsh, where we kill Onyxia, and Searing Gorge, where we can take on Ragnaros. So we currently believe that there are 8 events that are a different variation at these 3 locations, and the names are kind of crazy. There's one that's just called Old Gods Forsaken, so I wonder what that is. Now, looking at the list of NPCs in the database, we can see a bunch of hints. We've got Charlga Razorflank from Razorfriend Crawl. We've got the Lazy Peon NPC, Timberlane Maybell, and the Love Letter from Elwyn Forest. That certainly brings a lot of us back. We've got Hakar from Zul'Gurub, Gazrilla from Zul'Farrak, Zen Foulhoof from Teldrassil, and even a Scarlet Crusader. So, every 30 minutes, we will be killing things. You may be wondering though, well, okay, why are we killing things? What are we going to get? Onto the juicy bit then, rewards. So, we didn't find the vendor, but Wowhead did on the alpha. It's a Remembrancer, so, you know, memberries in Dalaran. And basically, like a lot of events, you will get a currency from doing all of this. That currency is called residual memories, and you can trade those in for a lot of things. We've got 3 battle pets, a 32 slot bag, a 30 slot reagent bag, then we've got the most important thing, the Dalaran Defender's gear. You may have recognized this as a previously data mined one. But yes, Dalaran is in the name, everybody's favorite wizard is also involved in what's going on here. But anyway, this comes in at normal raid item level, which is 489 for Season 4. It's a voidy recolor of the Argus set from Legion, which you can send to your alts, which is pretty nice. And alts are probably something you'll be doing in this event. Now, the Dragonflight pre-patch event was absolutely insane for leveling, and I've got to imagine this will be the same. And that's because in soloing this slowly and kind of scuffed, we got almost half a level from 71 to 72. Now, obviously, the idea of a level 71 character doing this is completely absurd, right? The level cap will be 70 when this content is live, but the bit that actually matters there is, well, 71 to 72 is a hell of a lot of XP, and this actually moved the needle. That means, I think, that when you have loads of players in this zone, you will be able to level through this super quick. If you've got a lower level character, certainly just go, tagging whatever mobs you can and letting the other people kill them. Next then, let's talk about the big ticket item. Another heirloom ring, one that is not from Pirates and is not Dark Moon. This is crafted by combining the lifeless stone ring, bought from the vendor, with 3 essences, which are each made by combining 20 memories. I've got to assume that those will drop from the events in each zone, and that would essentially be the exact same model as the Dragonflight pre-patch trinket. Now, the last thing is the Echo Chaser title. Of course, that will be something Team Liquid should probably earn and wear in the Race to World first. But anyway, you'll get that for killing all 38 rare mobs that spawn in during this event. The final question is the big one: when will this happen? Now, on the alpha client, Mists of Pandaria Remix is actually on the calendar, and the good news is that on that it is supposed to start on May 16th, so patch 10.2.7 is a week before that, which would be May 7th. Now, the remix is, however, scheduled to end August 20th, which is just over 2 months later. And the really handy thing is that start date was just confirmed by Blizzard right before I sat down to record this video. Of course, we don't know if the end date is confirmed, but it certainly does lend credence to things. To dive in a bit deeper though, every single time Blizzard mentioned alts and carrying characters over once MoP Remix is finished, they said into the War Within, not into Dragonflight, right? I mean, the War Within, like that is there in quotes. Why in quotes? I would say because Blizzard considers game version 11.0, which is our pre-patch, to actually be the War Within. This means that the pre-patch event will almost certainly go live with 11.0 on August 20th. Pre-patch, of course, usually lasts about a month, 4 weeks. That would mean that this expansion is likely to launch Tuesday, September 17th, with a 3-day early access period beginning at 1 minute past midnight, Saturday, September 14th. Though it could be earlier, because the team's, pretty damn good at doing things early. Now, this is not all based on one calendar event on the alpha, though. Holly told me in our interview that they are aiming for at least an 8-week content cadence. Now, May 9th to August 20th for 10.2.7 is 9 weeks. 10.2.6 was March 19th, which gives us about 7 weeks between 10.2.6 and 10.2.7, and that does make all of this pretty much just slot in perfectly. So, there's your pre-patch event. You'll get many levels, an heirloom ring, purple gear to send to your alts, all doing a quick trip through history, essentially, and reliving a bunch of the world-ending events that the world has been through. Given that they're kind of resurrecting these echoes of pretty memorable bosses, like, say, Onyxia or the Lich King, hey, that actually sounds really fun to me, I suppose, in a little way. I'm almost thinking of those Legion invasions and how fun they were. Anyway, that's it for today's video. Hope you found that to be interesting anyway. And yeah, I mean, a lot of us thought that the earliest they could do stuff is late August. I think early to mid-September, that totally seems reasonable. And if they are doing early mid-September, it does make the roadmap completely fit, because the roadmap has only got one War Within patch on it for the year 2024. Now, I do have to imagine that they'll do something for the 20th anniversary of WoW, but yeah, there you go, basically. The stuff fits. I hope you found this to be interesting, and return to the channel tomorrow, because there will be more content. Alright, have a great day. See you next time.